Hi, everyone. My name is Caleigh Holden, and I'm a Senior Technical Product Manager at Savvas Learning Company. I'm here today with Lacey Perretta, a Senior Product Manager who owns the learning analytics space here at Savvas. And we're here today to talk about embedded analytics in the K12 education market. So I want to start just by giving a little bit of background. Who are we here at Savvas? So at Savvas, we're dedicated to preparing students with the skills that they need to thrive as global citizens in an ever more interconnected and digital world. We draw upon over 120 years of experience and innovation, from when we were Scott Forsman to when we were Prentice Hall to when we were a part of Pearson, and now as a part of Savvas. We provide learning solutions across all grade levels and all disciplines. We utilize advanced technology to create innovative learning solutions that make learning personal, customizable, and data-driven. Our vision for education comes from a deep empathy for learners and educators and a drive to expand equity for all students. We believe that learning should inspire. By combining new ideas, new ways of thinking, and new ways of interacting, we design next-generation learning solutions that help prepare students for a digital world. Developed by top authors and educators, our award-winning programs leverage the power of data and advanced technology to deliver immersive, personalized, and flexible content that connects teachers and students with real-world learning experiences, helping all learners discover their greatness. And we've had an interesting transition to digital in the K-12 education space. The education market has been a bit behind the curve in the overall technology sector. Consider the funding and the infrastructure and the training that has been needed to support a transition to digital in K-12 education. Districts struggle often to meet the basic needs of their students, and as ed tech has advanced, it's been taking time for it to be considered a need versus a nice to have for a school. And even once districts begin to adopt technology, there are facets of the overall implementation that are sometimes overlooked. For example, we still see schools and districts with very painfully limited network bandwidth. So these constraints kind of shape the types of technology that we can deliver. At Savvas, we have our flagship learning management system is our Savvas Realize platform, and Realize is the hub where teachers can explore learning materials, they can communicate with their students, they can assign content and assessments and assignments to their students, they can review the student progress against standards. Students can go in and access digital books, interactive content, learning games, and other resources to study, practice, and complete assessments. And some of the statistics we have on this slide here, Realize is used by over 40 million students within over 10,000 school districts across 125 different countries. So we're here today talking about embedded analytics. So, what problems are we really trying to solve here? So I just spent a little bit of time talking about students and teachers, but in addition to students and teachers, one of the many users of our learning products here at Savvas are customer administrators. Oftentimes, a customer administrator has a job title like superintendent, principal, or curriculum manager. Sometimes they're teachers who are given responsibilities to look at a curriculum over a large grade set. But customer admins have their own application that we've built just for them, which is called Realize Reports. And that's where they can view student data across their entire organization or their entire school. So you can imagine, in order for us to meet their needs at Savvas, we need to be able to serve a large amount of data to these users all at once. Later on in the presentation, Lacey will talk about the specific use cases that these users have. But just to give you a high-level understanding of our challenge, over the past 5 years, we've grown from thousands of students on our platform to millions of students. So we need to be able to efficiently track and report on nearly 200 million student logins per year, 250 million teacher logins per year, 1.4 million classes, and over 300 million different assignments per year. So while an older infrastructure that we used to have served our needs years ago, as we grew, we began running into issues with the size of our data set, the performance of our reporting platform, and the costs associated with managing that platform, maintaining it, and improving it. So we needed an adaptive solution that met our performance needs without compromising the functionality that our customers were used to having. So why did we go with Looker? Our legacy infrastructure worked okay for our smaller customer base, but as I was explaining in the last slide, the amount of data that we're dealing with has grown. The outdated infrastructure wasn't performing well for our customers and also made it really expensive and inefficient to maintain. It became very time intensive to add a new report or to make updates to an existing report, to tweak some of the functionality. And with a growing customer base, we want to be able to accelerate the speed at which we can push out enhancements, but the old technology was actually slowing us down while simultaneously costing us more. So we chose Looker because it addressed a lot of these pain points. One big selling point was the built-in functionality that could be leveraged to create new reports or update reports in a fraction of the time that it would take us with our old system. It allowed us to begin using a more modern tool set, which was more cost-effective, both from an infrastructure and a development cost perspective. So now I'll hand it over to Lacey, who will talk more about the specifics of our solution.
So really the key for us is to provide value to our administrative customers as they implement our platform, as Caleigh mentioned. So to do that, we need to help them to better understand how their implementation is progressing and how their students are performing academically. So we really needed to think about our horizon of users. Consider that we have districts, like Caleigh said, that are very large, so more than 1 million students, as well as those even in the thousands or even hundreds. Our customers are also at different stages of their implementation of the platform. So some are just starting out and may have a low digital appetite, while others are savvy digital users with a district-driven strategy for implementation. We consider how to present data that is meaningful across users of these spectra. We do that by offering information about usage, so logins, content open events, number of classes, assessment information such as percentage scores or an item analysis, and standards performance. So in the education sector, standards are learning goals, which are defined at the national or state levels, and districts track students' progress against these standards to determine how are they performing in relation to grade level expectations. We present this information in 2 formats: visualizations that provide a quick high-level overview and data tables that allow administrators to see overviews, dig into the student level, or to do additional analysis. Here's an example of one of our early visualizations. One of the simplest measures of an implementation is, are users logging in? At the beginning of the year, administrators can track that across the district and that individual schools are visiting the platform at an expected capacity. As the year progresses, it provides a quick check to determine if users are logging in consistently. Here, we offer 3 visualizations: total logins, logins by day and role, and finally logins by schools. We suggest that administrators set their filters for these visualizations to correspond with the frequency of their data checks. For example, an administrator may log in once a week and have her filter set to the past 2 complete weeks. And then after a few weeks of viewing the dashboards, they'd be able to identify patterns across these images and then dig in further if something appeared amiss. Another important aspect of instructional health is performance. Here's another example of our early visualizations. Administrators can quickly check overall assessment performance, performance by subject, and performance by standards. We allow for customization of the ranges associated with each color, as districts have different expectations around the implementation. As a function of our constraints at the time, our goal when we established the new platform approximately 18 months ago was to recreate our original experience. Since then, we've been working to evolve our solution given our findings from our data scientists and our work with our customers. One of our first steps in this direction was to enhance our experience around these visualizations. Here, we've added intelligent text. You can see that at the top of the screenshot. That helps guide the user around the important information in the visualization. It also sets the tone and standardizes the message. And it supports our internal staff to have conversations with the district so they can better understand their implementation. We are also expanding how we think about usage. For example, here, it's not just that a user is logged in, but we're looking for one who's opened a piece of content. That's important as it's showing interaction with the curriculum. In addition, we display that usage week over week and also call out returning users, or those who have opened content previously in the school year, as well as those who've logged in for the first time. The goal of these new visualizations is to provide more actionable insights for our customers. The other main focus of our solution is data tables. If we think back to the horizon of customers I described earlier, data tables meet various needs across these users. Often, our administrators are very hands-on. They want to dig down and look at individual classes or individual teachers and students. They may also want to upload data into their data warehouses to combine their instructional data across platforms, or with additional metrics to provide a more comprehensive view of students. In addition, they may want to share specific data with a teacher or coach to drive instructional conversations. For example, in this report, they can explore various usage data at teacher level, including understanding how many classes a teacher has, how many assignments they've made, and their login information for the filtered period. This allows our administrators to determine if teachers have set up their classes as expected by the implementation plan. Are some teachers logging in significantly more or less than others? Or if sessions have dropped off or increased as time goes by. Based on their interpretations and follow-ups, the administrator can then take actions to support the implementation, such as remove barriers. Do the students have access to the technology they need? Offer professional development. Do teachers need support in digital instruction or the program's instructional model? Or identify infrastructure issues. Are bandwidth limitations causing teachers and students to abandon digital learning? All very common things that they run into. Our customers' strategies with the platform may drive how they use our various reports. Our programs offer a variety of assessments as well as the ability to create custom assessments. One district strategy is to create custom assessments or direct teachers to specific assessments within each course. Then all teachers are asked to assign the assessments within a particular window. The administrators will then view performance on each assessment across the district. Using the report on screen, an administrator can make several observations. They may be interested in a roll-up of performance at the district, and then may make comparisons at the school or class levels. They may also look at individual questions, displayed here in the color-coded cells, to determine if content needs to be retaught, or dig into performance across standards. By using the filters, they can isolate schools, or even teacher data sets. This allows them to protect the data privacy of the student body as a whole, while sharing only applicable results as they guide school or individual conversations. We find that our customers often wish to perform very specific analysis on their data. To support these needs, we offer exportable flat files with specific columns that allow them to merge the information into their data warehouses. Often, customers will schedule these reports to be sent in regular intervals. In this example, a district may want to track student progress on standards. Low scores suggest opportunities to provide additional curricular supports or instruction for students. Analyzing by standard can help identify where along the learning trajectory students are struggling. For example, is a foundational standard causing students to misunderstand subsequent standards? The goal of all of our visualizations and data tables is to support the understanding and analysis of districts' implementations and ultimately to support student achievement. So where are we headed? As we look to the future of our implementation, we continue to explore interactives that empower decision-making and drive learner outcomes. We are working with our data scientists and research group to develop more curated, guided experiences for customers. We envision additional visualizations that may tie to where a customer is in their implementation. We're also exploring durable visualizations that allow customers to easily navigate their data set, interpret insights, and make comparisons that are important to them. In addition, we are in the process of expanding the Looker solution to additional parts of our analytics story, both internally and other customer-facing applications. For example, in our teacher and student-facing reporting.